From haunting hotel ballads that defined a decade, to a punk explosion that kicked down the doors of rock's future, to a track so full of feeling, it became the very heartbeat of FM radio. These are the rock songs from 1976 that we'll never forget. And one of them, let's just say, it was rejected by critics at first, but ended up becoming the most requested encore in rock history. Which tracks captured the heart of '76, and why do they still hit just as hard today? Let's find out. Number 1. Hotel California, Eagles. It's not just a song. It's a cinematic experience wrapped in 6 strings. Released in late 1976, Hotel California became the soundtrack to American disillusionment, exploring themes of excess, isolation, and the cost of chasing paradise. Don Henley's cryptic lyrics painted a picture that was equal parts luxurious and haunting. And no one's quite decoded it fully, even decades later. But it's the guitar work that sealed it into rock immortality. That closing dual solo between Don Felder and Joe Walsh. It's studied in music schools, covered by legends, and still sends chills down spines. The song hit number 1, won a Grammy, and became a rite of passage for every aspiring guitarist. And yet somehow it still feels mysterious. It invites repeat listens, not just for the melody, but for the mood. This wasn't just the Eagles' biggest hit. It became a cultural symbol. And if this track was a slow, hypnotic descent into the American dream, the next one blasted out the gates with laser-sharp guitars and enough vocal power to launch a new era in rock. Number 2, More Than a Feeling, Boston. One chord, and you're gone, straight into the sky. More Than a Feeling was Boston's debut single, and it redefined what rock could sound like. That intro riff, pure electricity. The vocals, like a rocket launched into the clouds. Tom Scholz spent years perfecting this one track in his basement studio, and it shows. Released in 1976, it hit instantly. That mix of hard rock guitar, emotional lyrics, and layered harmonies sounded cleaner, tighter, and more epic than anything else on the airwaves. The track became a monster hit, topping charts, blowing up stadiums, and turning Boston into one of the biggest rock debuts of all time. It was power, polish, and passion all wrapped into one. And every kid with a Les Paul dreamed of nailing that riff. And the lyrics? Nostalgic, yearning, and strangely universal, which is why the song still brings crowds to their feet today. But while Boston reached for the heavens, the next band turned heartbreak into fire, with a breakup song that rocked millions and pulled no punches. Number 3, Go Your Own Way, Fleetwood Mac. The tension wasn't just in the lyrics, it was in the room. Go Your Own Way was Fleetwood Mac's breakup letter, written, recorded, and performed right in the middle of the storm. Lindsey Buckingham aimed his words straight at Stevie Nicks, and then asked her to sing backup on them. Released in late '76 as the lead single for Rumors, this wasn't just a great song. It was drama, set to music. The chugging guitar, the crashing drums, the emotional lift in the chorus. It felt like someone yelling and crying at the same time. And fans connected. The song roared up the charts and helped Rumors become one of the best-selling albums of all time. Even today, it's a staple, a breakup anthem that doesn't ask for pity. It demands power. It was vulnerability, rage, and resilience, all wrapped up in one perfect hook. And while this one ripped open wounds, the next track lifted spirits, a powerful, prog-infused anthem that still sends chills through arenas. Number 4, Carry On Wayward Son, Kansas.
Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
That opening a cappella line, instant goosebumps. Carry On Wayward Son wasn't just a rock song. It was a full-on spiritual prog rock journey, layered with harmonies, shifting tempos, and guitars that exploded like fireworks. Released in late 1976, it became Kansas's breakthrough hit, catapulting them from cult prog darlings to FM radio legends. The song was deep. It wrestled with self-doubt, purpose, and redemption, heavy stuff, especially coming from a band with violins in their lineup. But that's what made Kansas special. They made introspection sound epic. It peaked just outside the top 10, but its impact has only grown. It's become a classic rock staple, a supernatural TV theme, and an anthem for anyone who's felt lost but kept pushing forward. Plus, the musicianship? Next level. No chorus hits harder than the first time you hear that title drop. Carry on, my wayward soon. And if Kansas brought soaring drama, the next band took a way different route. Short, fast, loud, and ready to punch you in the face. Number 5, Blitzkrieg Bop, Ramones. Hey, ho, let's go. With those 4 words, punk rock officially kicked in the door. Released in early 1976, Blitzkrieg Bop wasn't polished. It wasn't pretty, but it didn't need to be. It was raw energy, 3 chords, and a middle finger to the bloated rock scene. The Ramones didn't try to impress you. They just hit you with 2 minutes of relentless rhythm and shouted hooks. The result? A sound that changed everything. Blitzkrieg Bop didn't climb the charts, but it became a blueprint for punk, and one of the most chanted rock songs in history. Whether it's a concert, a sports game, or a backyard barbecue, chances are someone's yelling, "Hey, ho, let's go!" And while the band looked like cartoon characters with guitars, their message was clear. No solos, no egos, just rock. If you ever wondered where the DIY, no-rules spirit of punk came from, it started right here. And while the Ramones were speeding through city streets, the next track took us deep into a story. One filled with danger, destruction, and Detroit. Number 6, Detroit Rock City, Kiss. It starts like a movie. News reports, engine revs, fading guitars, and then, boom, riff city. Detroit Rock City is Kiss at their most ambitious, combining storytelling with stadium-sized guitar power. It's the tale of a fan heading to a Kiss show who doesn't make it. A dark twist that adds gravity to all the glam. Released in 1976, the track didn't chart as high as some hoped, but it quickly became a fan favorite and a live show staple. The dual guitars from Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley sliced through the mix. And that chorus? Get up. Everybody's gonna move their feet. It's irresistible. What makes this track special is its blend of energy and tragedy. It's a party song with a fatal edge, and that tension is what's kept it alive for decades. Kiss wore makeup, sure. But under all that face paint was a band that knew how to craft legends. And while Kiss took us to Motor City, the next group brought the gang back together with twin guitars and one of the most feel-good riffs of the year. Number 7, The Boys Are Back in Town, Thin Lizzy. When those twin guitars come in, you know what time it is. Released in 1976, The Boys Are Back in Town is Thin Lizzy's calling card, A song that feels like kicking open the doors to your favorite dive bar and seeing all your old crew lined up with drinks in hand. Phil Lynnett's lyrics are pure street poetry. Tough, nostalgic, and cool as hell. It's not just a reunion song. It's about brotherhood, memory, and the wild glory days. Every verse builds like a night out that's about to get way too fun. But what really sets it off is the guitar work. Those harmonized leads from Scott Gorham and Brian Robertson, timeless. They're melodic, but they hit with weight. The song wasn't expected to be a hit, but it caught fire and hasn't let go since. It's become a sports anthem, a movie soundtrack go-to, and a permanent part of rock radio's DNA. And while Thin Lizzy brought the party, the next track got existential with one riff, one cowbell, and a whole lot of death and love. Number 8, Don't Fear the Reaper, Blue Öyster, Cult. It's dark, it's dreamy, and yes, it's got more cowbell. Released in '76, Don't Fear the Reaper is one of rock's most mysterious and hypnotic songs, blending poetic lyrics with a haunting melody that made death sound almost romantic. Buck Dharma's guitar riff floats like a ghost, while the lyrics reflect on love, loss, and accepting the inevitable. It wasn't your typical rock radio banger, but that's what made it stand out. It was moody, eerie, and deeply emotional. It cracked the top 20 and became Blue Öyster Cult's signature song. And then, of course, there's the cowbell, made immortal thanks to Saturday Night Live's infamous sketch decades later. But even without the comedy, this song holds up. It's been covered, sampled, referenced, and quoted endlessly. It makes you think, sway, and rock out all at once. And while B.O.C. dealt with mortality, the next track aimed straight at the soul with gospel harmonies, soaring falsetto, and one of the most powerful voices rock has ever known. Number 9, Somebody to Love, Queen. This isn't just a song, it's a full-blown plea from the heavens. Released in 1976 as the lead single from A Day at the Races, Somebody to Love was Queen's answer to soul and gospel. But filtered through Freddie Mercury's unmatched voice and the band's operatic rock wizardry. The song layers harmonies like a cathedral choir, building to an emotional crescendo that feels like Mercury's heart is bursting through the mic. He's desperate, passionate, and undeniably human. And let's not forget Brian May's guitar work, soaring, melodic, glorious. The rhythm section is tight, the dynamics are perfect. Every piece of this track feels crafted with obsession and heart. It wasn't just about finding love. It was about being seen, being heard, and holding on to hope in a world that doesn't always listen. The song hit the charts hard and still stands as one of Queen's most celebrated performances, and if Freddie was searching for love, the next band was chasing dreams. And in doing so, delivered the ultimate rock ballad that launched a legacy. Number 10, Dream On, Aerosmith. Before the scarves, the stadiums, and the MTV dominance, there was this. Dream On was Aerosmith's breakthrough. And even though it originally released in '73, it didn't explode until it was re-released in 1976, when radio finally caught up to its power. And once it did, total takeover. Steven Tyler's haunting piano, the slow build, and that sky-splitting scream near the end, it was a rock ballad like no one had heard before. Emotional, raw, and unafraid to sit in the pain of chasing something bigger. Dream On is about legacy, about growing up, failing, grinding, and not stopping. It became the foundation for everything Aerosmith would become. and a permanent anthem for anyone daring to go after something more. When Tyler belts dream on, dream until your dreams come true, you believe him. And while Aerosmith chased dreams, the next track went full road trip mode. All sunshine, good vibes, and endless open highways. Number 11, Rockin' Me, Steve Miller Band. You know those songs that make you want to roll the windows down, crank the volume, and just go? That's Rockin' Me. Steve Miller was already on a hot streak when this came out in '76, but this one hit a different vibe. Pure rock-pop fusion with hooks for days. It's breezy, confident, and sounds like freedom in stereo. The lyrics are playful and smart. I went from Phoenix, Arizona all the way to Tacoma. Suddenly, you're traveling across America with him. No plan, no pressure. It became an instant classic and shot straight to number 1. First, the groove's simple, the solos are tasty, and Miller delivers it all with that chill swagger only he could pull off. This wasn't a song that tried too hard, and that's why it worked. It just felt good. And while Steve Miller had his boots on the road, the next band brought the mystique, the power, and a woman who could outsing almost anyone in the game. Number 12, Magic Man, Heart. From the first note, you're under its spell. Magic Man introduced Heart to the world in 1976, and they did not come quietly. Ann Wilson's vocals hit like a tidal wave, seductive, mysterious, and commanding. Her guitar solo, courtesy of Nancy Wilson and Roger Fisher. Heart wasn't just another rock band. They were a force, and this track proved they could go toe-to-toe with any arena act. Magic Man climbed the charts fast and paved the way for Barracuda, Crazy on You, and a career full of genre-bending hits. It was mystical, it was powerful, and it announced the arrival of rock's fiercest new voice. And while Heart brought the heat of infatuation, the next artist used a quirky little voice box to turn a ballad into a stadium-swaying classic. Number 13, Show Me the Way, Peter Frampton. Before the talk box became a gimmick, Peter Frampton made it iconic. Show Me the Way wasn't just a hit. It was the defining moment of Frampton Comes Alive. Swing, one of the best-selling live albums of all time. That swirling robotic vocal effect, it wasn't just cool tech. It became Frampton's signature, wrapping around the melody like a second voice from another dimension. But beyond the gadget, the song hit people in the heart. The lyrics were vulnerable, open, asking for guidance and connection. It felt real. Pair that with Frampton's guitar chops, and you had a song that was as sincere as it was arena-ready. It became a radio staple, a live show must-play, and proof that Peter Frampton was far more than just a pretty face with a talk box. And while Frampton's plea for direction pulled fans in, the next track punched through like a Molotov cocktail. Angry, raw, and ready to spark a revolution. Number 14, Anarchy in the UK, Sex Pistols. This wasn't just a song, it was a warning shot. When Anarchy in the UK dropped in late 1976, it didn't just introduce the Sex Pistols, it detonated the entire British punk scene. Loud, snarling, and unapologetic, Johnny Rotten barked lines about chaos, destruction, and tearing down the establishment. It wasn't polished, it wasn't polite, and that was the point. This was punk in its purest form, and for many, it was the sound of the future, or the end of music as they knew it. The song shook Britain. It got banned from stations, condemned in the press, and worshipped by a new wave of angry, alienated youth who finally felt seen. It was dangerous. It was thrilling. And it forever changed the landscape of rock. And while the Pistols declared war, the final track on our list brought things back to melody, memory, and the bittersweet feeling of watching someone else take your place. Number 15, New Kid in Town, Eagles.
Johnny come lately, the new kid in town.
Soft, slow, and beautiful. New Kid in Town is the calm after the storm. Following the chaos of punk and arena rock, the Eagles brought it back to storytelling, with haunting harmonies and a tale of fading fame, lost love, and being replaced. It's one of the gentlest tracks on Hotel California, but it's also one of the most emotionally devastating. Glenn Frey's lead vocals ache with nostalgia and resignation, while Don Henley and Randy Meisner float around him in perfect harmony. It topped the charts and won a Grammy. But more importantly, it hit a nerve. Whether you were a washed-up celebrity or just someone who'd been ghosted, this one cut deep. It was a reminder that in rock and in life, nothing lasts forever. But the songs that do, the ones that stick with us year after year, you just heard 15 of them. Those were the rock songs that made 1976 unforgettable. The anthems, the ballads, the breakdowns, and the revolutions. Which one still gives you chills? Which one brings back memories you forgot you had?